The courts are emerging as the last remaining guardrail in Donald Trump's second presidency. Now, Trump has made it clear that he expects the judiciary to bend a knee to him and his authoritarian desires, just like Congress, the other co-equal branch of government. Remember them? Well, today, a Department of Justice lawyer argued before a three-judge appeals court that a federal judge's order blocking Trump's deportation of alleged Venezuelan gang members without due process was usurping the president's power. It didn't sound like the lawyer was at all that convincing to at least one judge on the panel. Take a listen.
There were no procedures in place to notify people. Nazis got better treatment under the Alien Enemy Act than has happened here. If the government says we don't have to give process for that, then y'all could have put me up on Saturday and thrown me on a plane, thinking I'm a member of Trinidad and giving me no chance to protest it. If your argument is we didn't have to do that, it's an intrusion on the president's war powers, the courts are paralyzed to do anything, then that's a misreading of precedent. It's a misreading of the text of the Alien Enemies Act. And that can't be an unlawful intrusion on the president's powers. It just can't. The president has to comply with the Constitution and laws like everybody else.
Joining me now are two legal eagles, Melissa Murray, NYU law professor and co-host of the Strict Scrutiny podcast, and Paul Butler, Georgetown law professor and former federal prosecutor. Paul, let me start with you. Tom Nichols is a writer for The Atlantic, and he has a story up today. It's called The Judiciary's Last Stand. And he writes that Donald Trump's assault on the judiciary is already the most, what he says, hostile and sustained political attack on America's law enforcement and legal institutions since the Civil War.
It's worse than what we've seen from authoritarians like the leaders in Poland and Turkey, because at least what they tried to do was to pack the courts. They fired judges, or they tried to put their own judges on. What the Trump administration is saying is we don't have to listen to judges. Judges can't tell us what to do. And the reason they're doing this, Simone, is because the main resistance right now is coming from federal courts. 140 different lawsuits, 40 different injunctions, which means 40 times in just 2 months. The Trump administration has been told, you can't do that. You can't tell Congress you can't spend money that's already been appropriated. You can't close down departments, and you can't send people to notorious foreign prisons without a day in court.
You know, Melissa, the Trump administration and allies of the president would like to have people believe that what these judges, what some of these attorney generals across the country are engaging in is called lawfare. They are trying to say that they are weaponizing the legal system against the president, when, as we all know here, that the judges can only hear cases that are brought before them. And if the case has no standing, or if there's no there, like they usually call balls and strikes here. Are the courts not in the Constitution, Melissa? Help me understand.
Well, I am old enough to remember when those who were in Trump's inner circle were talking about how the courts had it exactly right and the president's powers were limited when the president was trying to limit student debt and forgive student debt. But now it seems that there are no limits on the president's authority under Article 2. The scope and substance of Article 2 is not predefined. It's pretty loose in the Constitution. It's pretty broad textured. And it's very clear that even given those broad authorities that are afforded to the president, there are still limits, including limits like procedural due process. And that's what Judge Millett of the D.C. Circuit was talking about in that clip that you played earlier. We have various procedures that have to be observed, even when we are dealing with individuals who the government may deem to be threats. And Paul knows this better than anyone, given his work in criminal procedure and as a prosecutor. If we don't take procedural due process seriously, it's just as Judge Millett said, any of us could be subject to the government's tyranny. Those protections exist not just for those who are in the ambit of the legal system, but for all of us.
Well, Paul, isn't that kind of the point? Isn't it, to me, it feels as though that is why because the Trump administration could have chosen a myriad of other cases or individuals to test this theory out, if you will. But they specifically went to, and they're using language like talking about murderers and criminals, as though and suggesting that murderers and criminals are not afforded due process. The judge that issued this first injunction, if you will, he defended his ruling today prior to this appeals court hearing. And this is what Judge Boasberg wrote. He said, as the government itself concedes, the awesome power granted by the act may be brought to bear only on those who are, in fact, alien enemies. And the Supreme Court and this circuit have long maintained that federal courts are equipped to adjudicate that question when individuals threatened with detention and removal challenge their designation as such. The judge is defending his order. Saying that the court can adjudicate if, people are alien enemies or not. But you all are taking away, as Melissa noted, the ability for people to even ask, the due process. This is the point. This is what they're trying to do, because if they can get away with this, then it makes it so much easier, if they decide to, roll up to my house and snatch me up.
That's exactly right. So to be clear, the judge is not saying that the United States can't deport foreign gangbangers who are presenting a threat to this country. There just has to be a procedure other than because this is what Donald Trump or Marco Rubio wants. The procedure can be different from this 225-year-old Enemy Aliens Act that has only been used 3 times, all during war. The Trump administration has an argument, but what the judge is saying is before the government can come in with armed agents, just grab people in the middle of the night and send them to one of the world's most notorious prisons, there's got to be a procedure like what the Nazis got, or accused Nazis. Simone, they had hearing boards. The administration then followed rules that it's not following with these people from Venezuela, which is why the concern is if they can do it to these folks, they can do it to anybody.